part 2 to my dramatic story about my day. And I'm still rolling my hair. Okay, so part 2. So we get to the ER. I get signed in. They pretty well took me straight back. So they take me to this triage room. And they do all the things. So then they come in there and they do another EKG. And I told him, I said, they literally just done one of these at urgent care. And they were like, well, we still have to do another one. Okay, pretty simple procedure, you know. So they do that. And this hair is not cooperating with me. So they do another EKG, and then this PA in training comes in and starts asking me a bunch of questions. And he was so sweet. Like, he kept calling me ma'am. Everything was yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. He'd ask me a question, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. So sweet and so mannerly. But so we do that, and then they come back in. He leaves, they come back in, and they say, okay, we're going to walk down here to this room. So they finally put me in a room, and first thing they do is somebody comes in and they do blood work, because they were going to check levels to see if I had a heart attack or whatever. So I'm in there, and I told that girl straight up, that lab tech, poor girl. I mean, people like nurses and lab techs, they don't even know what they're getting themselves into when they have to do anything to me. Because like I said, I'm dramatic and I'm a baby, period. I can admit it. So I'm like, hey, I don't like needles. I'm a hard stick. So she asked me, which arm do they normally get it in? And I said, well, actually, they normally get it in my hand. So that's where she did it. And I think she had to take 4 tubes. And, I'm like, I don't watch. So she gets the needle in like this. Didn't even hurt, honestly. It was just a pinch. It's more the blood than it is the needle, I think. It's not the pain, because I'm like, I feel like I have a high tolerance for pain. So it's not the pain that freaks me out. It's just needles, blood, anything like that. So she gets, surprisingly, a lot of times when I go have blood work, they can't even get blood to come out, and they can never get enough blood a lot of times. So I'll have to leave and go drink a bunch of water or something and then come back. I've had to do that numerous times, especially over the past couple years, because I've had to have a lot of blood work. So she does all that. So then she leaves. So then another nurse walked in when the lab tech was doing my blood draw. And she was like, okay, I'll come back. I got to do an IV. And I'm instantly, I'm already freaking out. I can already feel my heart rate raising. It's pumping. And I'm just thinking, oh, great. So she comes back after the lab tech gets my blood. And I'm like, why do I have to have an IV? And she's like, well, I have to give you nitro. So you have to have an IV. And so I'm thinking they're going to pump this nitro through my IV. Well, that's not what they did, okay? She's like, oh no, you have to have the IV because the nitro goes under your tongue, and in case your blood pressure would drop, I have to have access to give you fluids or whatever, a bag of saline, whatever it is. Anyway, so she comes back in, she does my IV, and she actually did really good. She got this vein right here, and it was an easy stick. She got it right away. And so she says, well, I'm going to start just a slow drip just to keep the IV open. Okay, cool. No big deal. So then she says, okay, here's this. And she hands me this little cup with this little tiny pill in it. Not as big as anything, literally. And she says, okay, put that under your tongue, and you kind of got to squat, swish around so it'll dissolve. Okay, so I'm doing that, and it didn't have a taste, okay? And remember, I'm really weird and finicky about textures. So no taste, but it starts burning. My tongue is burning. My lips are burning. The weirdest thing ever. And I didn't tell her, and she didn't ask me. So it was literally I had put in a piece of Big Red chewing gum. But it was just burning. And I was telling my husband, I was like, this is burning. And I just kept saying it. He's like, yeah, I get the point. It's burning. I drive him insane. Okay. So anyway, so I finally get that dissolved, and it was literally instantly. I just like, my head literally feels hollow. I start seeing spots. Like, the room is starting to get dark, and I literally, I was like, I told my husband, I said, I don't feel right. You got to go get somebody. Something is wrong. And about that time, I'm kicking my shoes off. I'm pulling the blanket off of me because I'm hot, but I'm cold. And I literally felt like I was going to lose my mind. And I guess I was about to pass out. So he goes and he gets the nurse, and she comes back in, and she's like, well, how do you feel? Sorry, excuse me. So she's like, how do you feel? And I'm like telling her, and I'm like, oh, look at those spots up there. And it was not very pleasant, guys, at all. So she's like, so my blood pressure thing, it starts, and she's like, oh, no wonder you don't feel bad. Your blood pressure just dropped. I don't know how far low it dropped, but I literally thought I was dying, like, for real. So, not a fan of nitro, period. So anyway, so then she's like raising my bed up and tilting me, like, my head. She said, you're going to feel like you're upside down and you're going to fall out of the bed, but you won't fall out of the bed. So I'm literally like upside down. So at that point, I'm feeling all the blood rush into my head. My head is literally pounding. I told my husband, I said, my head is literally killing me. What is going on? And he was like, well, you're laying upside down, you're tilted. They got to get your blood pressure raised. So she's like, okay, I'm going to come back at 110 and we're going to check your blood pressure again. And, we'll go from there. Okay. So 110, I feel that tightening on my arm, and I was feeling better by that time. And my head was still hurting because obviously I'm like halfway upside down, or I don't know, completely upside down. Maybe I don't have a clue. I couldn't see nothing, I'm just like back here with all the blood rushing to my brain. And so that blood pressure was pretty close to normal. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tilt you back up, but you're still going to have to lay flat. Okay, awesome. I'm already so uncomfortable, but I have to lay flat. But, I was seriously freaking out, but she was like, we got you, this is nothing, this happens, and this is why, I needed the IV. Oh, and I did forget to say that whenever that did happen, like, she's like, is pumping the fluids in me. So by then, I'm tasting that saline, and if you've ever had like saline running through your body, it tastes like metal. So not only did I have to chew up foamy aspirin, and then a burning nitro in my mouth, under my tongue, now I'm tasting metal. Still hadn't had anything to drink. Literally miserable, okay? Like I said, I'm all weird about textures and like taste and things like that. So anyway, so my blood work came back normal. My 2 EKGs were normal. And found out that 1 in 5 has the blood pressure drop on nitro. So, that's nothing odd. But of course I had to be that one. But anyway, I did all that. I said all that to just say that, what they tell me was wrong, guys. Anxiety. So, anxiety. Yeah, I was having a panic attack. So I'm already on 2 medicines for anxiety. So now I have to go see my family doctor, who I love and adore. But do I need a third? Or maybe I need a whole new, I don't know, guys. I'm so messed up. Like, my brain is like so messed up. But anyway, at least it wasn't my heart, and I'm okay. I'm still alive. I survived the nitro and the baby aspirin. So anyway, that's my goofy story of the day.